Hi folks, hope everybody's doing well this morning. And this will be the second shave with the Mag T open comb, Mag T Delta open comb razor. There we go. But the soap we're going to be using with it today is Chisel Face. This one here is Cryogen. So if you're unfamiliar with this one here, it has a over-the-top cooling effect. I'll show you what the soap looks like on the inside. I think if I remember right, it starts out with about 4 ounces. Yes, starts out with about 4 ounces, and there's somewhat less than that in this container now. And also got the matching aftershave to go right along with it. So we're talking about a certain amount of menthol that's going to be in this particular shave. It's the kind that I guess you might say in the early morning hours, it could be a real eye opener of sorts if you don't get it too close to your eyes and make you squint, but it definitely will get your attention. And I've got it whipped up here. It's a little on the wet side, not quite drippy, but it is wet, definitely wet. And with this is a Super Badger Vulfix. I'll put a link down below. I think he still may have a few of these left over at the Superior Shave. I'm thinking, I can't remember exactly how much this one was. I'm wanting to say it's right around the $30 mark. Pretty inexpensive for a Badger brush. Goodbye. He's got it on a closeout sale. But yeah, it's on the wet side. Yeah, it's great for my nose. Definitely gets it wide open, that's for sure. Oh, blade of the day. This would be the second use on this Astra blade that came with the razor, and you know the greens superior platinum. There we go. And here's the razor. That's what the cap looks like. If you didn't see the previous video, it's pretty shiny, nice fingerprint magnet. You can kind of see the blade reveal. Same blade I used in the previous video, so we're going to see how well it holds up. 5 ounces, about 4 1/4 inches in length. It's definitely got some weight behind it. Magnets hold it together. It's like I say, I got it in the previous video, but boy, it's a very unique razor indeed. In the previous video, I went with a 2-pass shave. This one here, I go with 3. In my opinion, with this particular shaver, you can get by with 2 passes. At least I could, I should say. My experience has been with it because after the second pass, 1 pass with the grain, second pass against the grain, there was very, very little left. In other words, if I modified my second pass just a little bit, I would have been BBS without a problem. But we're going to go ahead and try the across the grain pass with this shave. I've already put a hot towel to the face this morning, and pre-shave oil that I've already put on is Maggard razors. This one here is a sweet orange scent. My nose is not the best in the world, so as it goes, does the scent hang around after I put it on? Of course, it does for a moment, but then that moment's gone. So I don't really, from with my nose, it's really hard to, be as a good judge how long it sticks around. Does it interfere with the scent of the soap or anything? My nose says no, but that's my nose, and your nose is probably a lot better than mine. But for me, the scent, it's there. When I first put it on, I notice it, but within short moments afterwards, my nose doesn't pick it up anymore. And it could be there's just one of those situations that is referred to from time to time about going nose blind, after a certain length of time of smelling something, and kind of thinking that, like I say, it's there, but I don't think the strength, the longevity of it is very long. And yes, I should mention with this soap, you definitely want to make sure your hands are clean afterwards, and keep them away from your eyes. Because just no closer than I got right there, my eyes could already pick it up. This is one of those kind of soaps that I refer to from time to time as being over the top. It's not made for everybody. Some people don't like it at all because it's the amount of menthol that's in it. For me, it's just fine. It is fantastic for my nose, opening up my sinuses first thing in the morning. Because for me, it's almost a constant battle with my nose. How well it works or doesn't work, just depends on the day. Yeah, it's wide open this morning, boy. All right, go ahead and get this warmed up and get started here. First pass will be with the green. Like I said, if you didn't catch the first one, the first video, this shaver does have some weight behind it. The handle is very unique in its shape. And also it's very unique, the shaver is very unique in how it holds the blade in place. It holds it in place as well as the cap with a magnet. Magnet's got about a 4-pound pull if I remember correctly. It's pretty darn strong. I really don't, if I noticed anything about this pass versus the previous videos pass, yesterday's pass, seems to be pretty smooth. That is something I probably should point out, that from time to time it's mentioned with some of the shavers, you know, that do this as a hobby and put out several videos using the shaver like 2 and 3 days in a row, a brand new one that's new to you, using that for, you know, a few days in a row. You'll notice it seems like possibly, at least my experience has been, that the shaves seem to get better, in that your growth, in other words, it gets accustomed to growing a particular length every day because you've been using the same shaver every day. And it seems like your shaves might actually improve as time goes on. So it is something to think about when you get a new razor. If the first shave maybe wasn't quite up to snuff, maybe continue to use it a little bit longer to see if it doesn't improve. Because I know that first pass was smoother than the yesterday's first pass. Not that in the first video, not that it was bad to begin with. It was just that pass there is pretty smooth. If you go, I'll put the link to the websites and all that sort of thing down below. But if you take a moment and read and go back and watch Geo Fat Boy Shave Nation's video on it, talks about the magnet, and their thought is that the magnets that they use will help improve the longevity of your blade. Over time, that will be it'll be up to the individual user to decide that. Needless to say, if you've been around my channel long enough, I move in and out of shavers and soaps and everything within a pretty regular basis. In other words, using a shaver 2 or 3 times in a row in videos is not very often. So blades don't usually get used that much. Geo mentioned that he felt like this would be comparable to a Mula R41, and it is pretty close to it. R41 is one of my favorite shavers. For me, I get smooth shaves out of it, out of the R41. It's efficient. There's just enough blade feel to let you know that it's there, just like this one here. The shave in between the two of them, in other words, in my opinion, is pretty comparable. I didn't see anything, didn't feel anything unusual. I'm kind of wondering, in the instructions talking about not going across with your shave, I wonder if it was more along the lines of maybe the wording should be a little bit different. When we shave across, we're talking about going this way with the blade action. Either it's from ear to nose or from nose to ear, whatever direction works best for you. And I was kind of wondering if they're talking about if you're shaving, in other words, from north to south, not to go like this with the same direction. In other words, slicing motion, I guess you might say. I'm wondering if that's not what their intent was on that particular part of the instructions. Because it did have me scratching my head why. I mean, outside of the fact that it's a very efficient razor, you may not need that pass unless that is going to be your second and final pass. I can definitely feel the cooling effect of this soap. It is definitely cooling off, which feels great. Our temperatures here for May have been a bit unseasonal. Been in, like, in other words, the lows would be, 50s and whatnot. Sometimes the highs wouldn't be much more than that. Here of late, it's been a little cool for May. Thought it would be appropriate to go ahead and get rolling. It's May, so I know here pretty soon it's going to get hot. All right, guess green pass. I would say it may take a moment or two to get used to the handle shape. But I don't find it that troublesome because, most of us are used to round handles. Yeah, you might see that I am paying close attention to how much pressure I put on the, because this, like I say, 5 ounces, it don't take much. If I remember right, the instructions kind of goes along with the thought process that you might hear me talk about from time to time. Just enough pressure to keep the razor on your face. Let the weight of the razor, the sharpness of the blade do the work for you. Very smooth and comfortable. For me, from what I'm used to using, I shave with a number of different shavers as well as straight razors and shavettes, so I'm kind of used to a blade feel, and I don't feel that this is over the top by any means. It is very comfortable, efficient. It's very smooth, man. That's in other words, almost an effortless BBS. In other words, yeah, that'd be the best way to put it. Very smooth. Once again, you definitely want to keep your hands away from your eyes till you get them good and clean, washed off, because my eyes are just starting to water just a little bit. That's the reason why I was kind of laughing about it being an eye opener. It's a little bit different because it's going to may cause you to squint just a bit. Just depends on how close you get it to your face. I mean, my face is it is cooling. It feels like ice is all over it. Very nice. I enjoy these kind of shaves. I know not everybody does, but I sure do. Previous video, I got real excited, went straight from the end of the quote-unquote shave to, instead of using the alum block and in the post-shave, in other words, I went straight to the aftershave, which that aftershave was pretty good. This is Humphrey's Witch Hazel. This one here is Cucumber Melon. The reason why it looks like this is I added just a touch of peppermint in it, and makes it nice cooling effect. Not that I need any help right now. I do enjoy this soap. This one here, as well as I've got others that are, in other words, highly mentholated, which I do enjoy them. Menthol, peppermint, might have some camphor, might have some eucalyptus. In other words, all those type soaps will have most likely have a combination of those sort of items in there. It is something to pay attention to, though, if you're sensitive to menthol and things of that nature. And also, I'll be taking this towel that I've been wiping my hands off. I'll rotate and put a fresh one here because I don't want family to, in other words, get that close to their eyes by any means. Here's the aftershave. And it's one of the, as it goes for one of the purchases, this is one of those ones that I want to make sure I've got a backup. I don't know if they'll ever stop making it. I hope that they don't. There's a restrictor there. I think this is going to be one of those classics, if you will. But I am thinking about ordering a backup of these just in case. I like it too much. In other words, it'll be one of those sad days if they decide to quit making it. But it's kind of like if you follow Fine Accoutrements, the Platinum, probably one of their better, I say better, one of their more popular scents is the Platinum, Fine Accoutrements. And in other words, I don't think they'll ever stop making it because it is so popular. And I think that's the case with this one here with Cryogen. I think it's way too popular to do away with. But boy, that cooling effect on my face is just fantastic this morning. A great shave. Very smooth this morning with the Mag T Delta open comb. Blade still doing quite well. One more video with this shaver with the same blade. See how it holds up. If it's anything comparable to this shave, boy howdy, this very smooth and comfortable. For me, this is a nice shaver. It is very comparable to R41 as goes for the efficiency and shave feel. At least in my experience, it is. I enjoy shaving with it. It's pretty nice. A daily shaver without a problem. At least for me, it would be. Hope everybody's doing well. I hope everything's going well with you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and smooth shaves to you.